Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with episode 2.
Woo!
Our last leg. You got me, your boy, Jonny Gamble, and my co-host.
Oh, Nicky G, come on now, let's get it.
So if you guys see some flickering going on in the video, just like you just did right there, we are literally recording this during a thunderstorm. No bullshit, so you'll see it throughout the entire video. There's my apology. That being said, if you guys enjoy the content, we're going to be trying our best to release a video and a podcast weekly, as you guys already know, usually on a Tuesday or Wednesday after Monday Night Football. So if you do like it, please be sure to like, subscribe, share with your family, friends. On Spotify, we are strictly on there. It's just easier. We like it. Everyone listens to it. Anyway, that being said, we truly love to start off with good news, but I feel like not only us, but a lot of the majority of the people who gambled on Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football really got messed up by the books. One that my boy really put some thought into making together. I'm going to let him tell you this horrible loss because I tailed it. I really loved it. I really did, but I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a, don't get me wrong, it was a profitable weekend. It was. But, my goodness, did we take a fucking L on the Steelers-Raiders. That was, I think, my favorite bet of the entire week, which I thought was an absolute lock. I wouldn't have put...
More or less, yeah.
It was my favorite lock because I think... I mean, we made it together, but John really just commented on it, and we both agreed it was a good bet.
If you really think about it, the only thing I added it was the... I'll tell you. I'll say it. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what we had was... It was a 5-leg parlay plus 625. Don't get me wrong. Great odds. Yeah. Great odds.
Oh, yeah.
I threw 2 units on it. We had Najee Harris, 25 yards. Bang. George Pickens, 25 yards. Bang. Devontae Adams, 50 yards. Bang. Kenny Pickett, 200-plus passing yards. Bang. And then bitch-ass pretty boy, Jimmy G. Jimmy G does 30. We had him under 234, which he has not thrown for the entire year. And he decides to go for 324.
You know what surprised me on that, too, was the fact that they actually benched him for a period of time. And I think really the only time he was benched was just during halftime. And they decided to throw him back in the fucking game. And that's where he just decided to throw some fucking darts.
Oh, I don't like to say it. I wish he would have stayed hurt. But.
Yeah, no, I want that out because, God, we've already seen enough injuries in the past 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I don't know if you guys are a fan of fantasy football. We are, unfortunately. But I already lost one of my favorite running backs in the league, Nick Chubb. I already lost him to an injury. I don't know what I'm going to do with as far as all that goes.
That was like a 4th-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Too, wasn't
it? Yeah, exactly. So that kind of screwed me, but... I'm tired of all these injuries. Matter of fact, there was another one that just popped up earlier today, or excuse me, Sunday. Mike Williams, right?
Oh yeah, that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, and as far as that too, Derek Carr, I'm not sure if he's like out of the season. I just heard that he was injured, so I'm like, great, that's just another person already. That's a superstar in the NFL that's already injured, and we're only on week 3. So, I don't know. That's my take. Sorry.
I couldn't tell if it was his throwing shoulder or what, but I know that he was hurt, and you got Jameis Winston back in for the fucking Saints again. Holy shit. I like Jameis. He's a weird fucking guy. I watched the shit he tried to pull out at FSU. So you don't know about that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so quick little story time. Jameis Winston, he got, I don't know if it was suspended from the team or if it was, he wasn't allowed to play the next week. For some reason, he was not allowed to play the next game.
Okay.
Coach told him, do not suit up. Do not come out here. You're not allowed to play. He walked out and suited up, got everybody hype in the entire stadium like he was about to play. And he walks out there like, I'm ready to play, coach. And they're like, you're not fucking playing tonight. Jameis Winston is a fucking clown. So I like the guy.
So he didn't play?
No.
After getting the whole crowd? I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, at least one play after you got the whole crowd on your back.
Yeah, I mean, he was.
But what did he do?
I can't remember what he did. It was something ridiculous.
We'll figure it out. I'll probably throw an article in the screen.
Yeah,
you guys
most
look it up
definitely.
yourself, whatever.
But either way, yeah. Hope Derek Carr gets better.
Yeah.
I like New Orleans. I like what they've got going on there. They're in the middle of a rebuild as well. Well, I mean, fuck. We're already at the bad beats. Let me go and run you off one more that I had. Baker Mayfield under 226. Cha-ching. Jalen Hurts over 200 passing yards. Cha-ching. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. Cha-ching. A.J. Brown, 40-plus yards. Cha-ching. Under 19.5 points by the Buccaneers. Cha-ching. Jalen Hurts, 40-plus rushing yards. Fucked me out of big money. Big money. I'm not even going to go through the rest because I have about 5 bets that all lost by one leg, and it's sickening.
I'll throw them on the screen too as you send them. Unfortunately, I don't want to show it to you, but hey, it's good to show that not always people always win. They always want to post their wins.
Yeah.
It's good to show their losses too. We all lose. Own up to it.
That's real gamblers right there.
Exactly.
You know? The guys that try to sell you the bets and stuff, they show you their wins. Let me see them losses.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. And if they're lucky enough, they probably broke even, just like we do. So
Yeah,
it is what it
that's
is.
the fun of gambling.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel you there. I mean, the only other bad beat, I guess you could say, I did feel a little salty. I had a 3-legger. I had Matt Stafford for 3.5 rushing yards, which a lot of people were very skeptical on me
Only
choosing
John.
them.
Only
I don't know,
John.
something about that. I was like, really, 4 yards? This dude has he had enough pressure from the Bengals that would make him run, and he did. And I was actually asleep during that part, believe it or not. I had Tutu Atwell for 25 receiving yards. That's cake. I wanted to put Tutu Atwell, ATD, anytime touchdown, and my friends told me that's not going to hit. Throw Higbee. They've been throwing it to him a lot. And what
You gotta go with that gut.
No, and that's one thing I want you all to take home with you. Always go with your gut. You can listen to your friends too, but your gut is probably the most convincing person because in the end of the day, it's the one that you made, and you're gonna feel so happy that you hit a bet that you made yourself. But that was not me. I listened to them and I threw Higbee and I lost because of that. But it is what it is. But I only want to talk about really one big winning slip that made it all worth it. And I texted this dude, but not only you. So it's all right. Not
Oh,
only my
shit.
guy. I
Guess I'm
texted
not
like
special.
6 people. Should I cash out on this? I threw a 4-legger anytime touchdown. And I threw a boost that FanDuel gave me on top of it. It paid 30-1. And it was Jerome Ford, Browns new running back after Nick Chubb, Zach Moss, and he got a receiving touchdown. Tyreek Hill, that was the easy one. That was done in literally 3 minutes into the game, I think. And Justin freaking Jefferson. I was super skeptical on that part. I didn't know if I should have chose Justin Jefferson or Hawkinson.
Now, I will be the guy that says, I told him to cash out.
You did.
I did 100%.
And you were
tell him
not
to
the
cash
only
out.
one. You were not the only one. I had 3 people tell me that and 2 people to tell me
He
right.
multiplied his unit by 8. If he would have taken the cash out, he would have multiplied his unit bet by 8.
Yup.
And thank God he didn't.
And I didn't. And I'm so happy I didn't. I was at Ale's Emporium. I was so fucking ecstatic. I had my own girlfriend. Thank you, baby. Rooting for me too. Because she was like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I have no clue. And she's like, well, let's just sit here and see what happens. And we fucking did. And we cashed. And as soon as we cashed, we left. Free dinner. I was happy about it. That made my day. That made my whole weekend. At that point, I at least had more firing power to play with some other bets.
Oh, yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I really did.
So
That
for
was-
that bet, let me get a Ric Flair woo on 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Goddamn right. So if we're gonna jump into brass tactics here, I guess we start on Thursday night, right?
Are we talking about the new week?
Oh, do you want to stumble back across week 3?
I
Because
only
we
wa-
did miss a lot
Yeah.
of football.
I only really want to touch about 3 or 4 games that were, to me, my opinion, a little mind blowing as far as the results for week 3. Or was that week 2? Sorry, week 2? No, week 3.
So
week
week 2 was 2 weeks ago.
You're right.
And we apologize for missing week 2, missing
Thank
week 3. He was in Nashville at a concert. Week 3, I was out of town for work. But if we are not out of town, you best believe we're right here in
Yes,
the
sir.
studio.
Yes, sir.
Every single Tuesday.
Yes,
we're
sir.
not going to miss a day for you guys.
Yes,
Best
sir.
believe that. Go ahead and continue, Chito.
All right, right on. So the only, not the only one, excuse me, but the first one I wanted to talk about. Holy shit, Miami beat the shit out of the Broncos. But I really knew that the Miami Dolphins were gonna win. But who knew they were gonna beat a record that evening.
Yeah, that was very intense. So what had happened was in that entire situation, let's go ahead and backpedal about, I don't know, a decade and a half ago. Mike McDaniels was the ball boy growing up for the Broncos. He tried to interview for them for multiple coaching positions. They wouldn't even give him the interview at all. They wouldn't even give it to him. And then Sean Payton, before the season started, came out and said that Tua would be benched by week 5. I think he said week 5. Yeah, they fucked them up, dude. Something decent. Mike McDaniels came out and said that. So they scored 70 points. They had every potential to score 73, which they could have done and set the all-time NFL record for most points scored in one NFL game. But he came out and said, we don't come out here to set records. We come out here to win ball games. But I'm like, bro, you're up by 50.
But if you
might as well just go ahead and
close,
do it.
Yeah, why didn't we make history, honestly? I mean, I didn't know about that, but that's my take. Keep going. Sorry.
No, so I find it more like of a slap in the face to Sean Payton than the entire Denver Broncos organization, that they're like, we had every potential to beat you and score the NFL all-time scoring record. And they're like, nah, we're good. We don't need it. Like, I think that is more of a slap in the face than actually setting the record, which makes me love Mike McDaniels even more.
Yeah. See, I didn't really have that much taken, nor did I even know about all that. But I just knew that they broke a record because the Score app, if you guys don't have it, it tells you when some sort of record is broken. So that's good to know. I like that. And that's the only reason I knew about that. But in the end of the day, I cannot believe 70-20. I couldn't even fathom a 50-point deficit. I truly couldn't. But that was impressive. The second one I wanted to talk about, like I just mentioned earlier, as soon as JJ caught that touchdown, I was out of that rush. I did not know Green Bay came back from a 17-0 comeback, and they fucking won. I
love some love. Nick loves Jordan Love.
Bro, I was in shock. I was in shock, truly. I mean, I'm not a Green Bay fan or whatever, but I was just like, holy, what the fuck happened in this fourth quarter? But anyway, the third one, I'm pretty sure you want to talk about a little bit.
Ooh, come on now. My two favorite teams, we had the Indianapolis Colts against the Baltimore Ravens.
So, before you go into that.
Okay. Because I'm about to go on a spiel.
I know he is. I only want you're going to answer this real quick. I only have one question. Who the fuck wanted to win that game? Because the
Colts.
It just felt like a complete teeter-totter. One team looked like they wanted to try. The other team looked like they wanted to try. Then they looked like they mellowed out. Come to fucking overtime. Now they both want to fucking try. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even know who's going to win. At this point, I put money on each team. It was plus money regardless. So I was like, now let me just see who fucking wins. That was my piece. Go for it.
No, and I respect that. But Minshew mania. Please understand that. This is not a fad. This is not like just everybody loves Gardner Minshew. I mean, it's Uncle Rico. You want me to throw that ball over the mountains over there? I can do it. He can do it. He dropped dimes to Zach Moss. He threw a perfect fucking game, in my opinion. He had minimal flaws, but I think that all came from the front end of the offensive line, personally. But wow, to me, that was the greatest game of the week to watch. I didn't turn on the 4 o'clock games. I kept watching the overtime. Are you shaking your head like, no?
I'm not going to cut you off. Keep going. You're on a roll. You're entertaining me.
So what happened was the Colts defense kind of crumbled in the fourth quarter, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear a goddamn word about the penalties. The Ravens got away with so many penalties. The Colts got away with so many penalties.
I agree with you.
And I am not biased in this. Those are my two favorite teams. I was okay with either one winning. To me, the Colts deserved that win.
They wanted it more.
Exactly.
They wanted
and
it
that's
more.
what it boiled down to, exactly what John was talking about.
Yeah.
Who wanted to win more? you know, you've got a Super Bowl. To me, the Colts are not a Super Bowl contending team this
Definitely
year.
not.
But the Ravens are.
Yeah, exactly.
And they got fucking punked by a team that was not supposed to even be close to winning. They came out and they gave it their all. They played great fucking ball. And, you know.
They got smacked with the safety close to the end.
Yeah.
And they still managed to fucking tie it up and push it to OT. I'll give them that part. I'll give them that part.
Man, yes.
I'll give them that part. I didn't. I mean, again, I had money on both when they were plus money, so I was gonna win regardless. But it was just like, at one point, like it was. I think OT was almost over, right? It was like 2 or 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, please don't let it in a draw.
Old Matt Gay. Matt game time winner is what I'm gonna call him from now on. He set the record for the most 50-plus yard field goals in one game. Get Justin Tucker the fuck out of here. He couldn't even hit the 61-yarder. Don't get me wrong.
Hey.
To me, the greatest kicker ever in the history of the NFL.
There we go.
Right behind, or right to me for accuracy, right in front of Vinatieri.
Good comparison.
But yeah. I mean, he's the modern day Vinatieri.
Yes, sir.
But golly, Matt Gay absolutely went off. Without Matt Gay, that game's over. If we kept Rodrigo Blankenship, there's not a chance we win that game. Matt Gay did unbelievable. He should win Special Teams Player of the Week. Special Team Player of the Week.
Sure.
Who else do you think about? He literally set a record.
Okay, I'll give you that part. But I mean, there was a couple of special team plays that I saw all week that were pretty
That
gnarly.
were very impressive,
but
sure.
Yeah, but I guess what you're saying as far as record breaking, then I'll give you that.
4 50-plus yard
I
field
will
goals.
absolutely give
Literally no kicker has ever done that in the history of
Yeah,
football.
I won't take that away.
Crazy.
That away.
Very impressive. Do you have anything else you want to touch on that game, or do you want to move on to the next one?
I only had 2 more comments for 2 different games.
Here.
So the other one that I had was the Cowboys losing to the Arizona Cardinals.
That was the most embarrassing thing to happen this week.
At that point, I really thought I was about to grow some hair, bro. That dude beat the fuck out of
the fuck out of them.
Cowboys. Yeah, I was stunned. Truly, I was.
They lost in true Cowboy fashion.
I guess at the very end, and like this is what I guess. Well, the reason I even put this on my cheat sheet right now, just to talk to you guys about it, was the very last drive that the Cowboys had. They ran it 4 or 5 times to the end zone, to the red zone, excuse me. And then they decide, hey, Dak, throw the ball. This motherfucker throws a fucking pick after they just tried their ass off. Genuinely, running it was already a very skeptical play itself because you were on a time crunch. And they still decided to run it down the field. And it's like, all right, fine, we got it down here. Let's run one more running play, and you get a touchdown. Then let's try for an onside kick. But no, why would you make that final decision for Dak to throw a pass in general when you're at the red zone, when they work that hard to get up there in the rushing yards? So I genuinely think if they would have ran it, they probably would have gotten the touchdown. Obviously, we will never know, but the Cardinals really owned them that game.
Yeah, they absolutely punked the Cowboys. And the Cowboys lost in true Cowboy fashion. They fucking suck. Yeah, I mean, they're terrible. They have one of the highest payrolls for the entire NFL. And now we go back and look at, their last 2 games. Their last 2 games. They did great. Cowboys looked unstoppable. Once again, everybody in the fucking world wants the Cowboys to win.
Yes, sir.
They're like, yep, Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. They can't beat the Cardinals, who I consider one of the worst 3 teams in the NFL.
Yeah, they're down there. Sure.
I think they're fucking horrendous.
Yep.
They are nothing but stat padding, regular season bums. They will not win the Super Bowl, and I'll call it right now. They won't win their first playoff game.
And the only thing I can really piggyback on that, to me, again, feel free to disagree. Dak Prescott is not that good.
He's not that guy.
But the Cowboys' defense, is the only reason they make that dude look okay.
And they still did. They did terrible.
And that game they did horrendous.
In against one of the offenses that I consider to be top 5 worst in the entire NFL.
Agreed.
It is. It's an atrocity to sit here and continue to say, I think it's the Cowboys' year. It might be the Cowboys' year. I am so fucking tired of hearing it. Yeah. Oh, aren't we all? My God.
But respect to the Cowboys fans. But that game, I know you guys took that to heart. So there's no need for me to throw the dagger or put some salt in the wound.
Don't get me wrong. I like the Cowboys. Like I don't mind. I don't like the fan base. But like their team they have right now.
Entertaining.
I like what they've done.
So
with
entertaining.
That team. They have every potential they need right now to win, and they cannot close it out when it matters in big games.
Yes, sir.
And this has been the Cowboys for the last, decade and a half?
Yeah.
15 years. They always look so good, and they just can't close.
Yeah.
So just a side note, the Cowboys are blacklisted for me.
Oh, really?
100%.
I think a lot of people are probably thinking the same thing after that. So we only got one more result game from last week to talk about, and we will move on to our next topic. So the last one is just a really quick comment. Poor coaching decision by the Raiders. In my opinion, let me tell you why. They were, what was the final result? It was like 23 or something to 18.
I'm not sure. Let me check real quick.
Anyway, the point is, I'll tell you. I don't remember the numbers of the final score, but they needed an extra possession, right? As in the Raiders, they decided to go for a field goal instead of just going for a touchdown. Oh, I remember now. It was 23-15. Why not go for a touchdown and go for the 2-point conversion, which will make it a tied game? If I remember the numbers right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I saw the very end, so maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm stupid. But while he looks that up, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So why? And I think the coach went on the conference after the game to say, well, we needed another possession anyway. Yeah, but you would have gotten the other fucking possession in overtime. And even if you didn't get the coin flip, let your defense show the hell up. And then you guys get that possession. That's my take, my guy. I don't remember exactly what the score was, but I'm pretty sure it was 23-15, and they decided to go for a field goal and made it 23-18. Exactly my point. That's the only comment I had. Poor coaching decision, my opinion. And speaking of bad coaching decisions, that's the Bears too. And I'm not going to get into that. But anyway. That was my take, brother.
Well, let's also not get over the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo threw 3 fucking picks that game. I'm sorry, but 324 on a stat sheet doesn't look that impressive with 3 interceptions, only 2 touchdowns, 4 sacks.
But at that point, you're at the very end. You have nothing else to lose. You already did bad this game. Fuck it. But it would. I'm not gonna say that 3 interceptions is bad and whatever his stats were that game are bad, because they were. But don't you think it would be like, all right, I'm going to let it slide if you fucking post up and win the game when it matters the most?
Yeah. The main problem with the Raiders is going to be their offensive line. Don't get me wrong, the Steelers have a great defensive line. You got TJ Watt out there. He did numbers that game. He did unbelievably good. But I think the main problem lies directly on the offensive line. You've got Josh Jacobs. What's that say? 17 rushes for 62 yards. Yeah. That is fucking embarrassing for somebody I consider a top 10 running back in the NFL.
I'm not. Yeah, you're right.
That's sad. 17 attempts for 62.
I guess on FanDuel and all, it still looks good. But yeah, as far as like a numbers game, you're right.
That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't respect the Raiders. I think they are an atrocious fucking team.
I feel more bad for Davante Adams.
Yeah, me too. And he already said that.
Bad.
So just in case nobody's paid attention to it, he just came out and said he doesn't want to wait. He's not waiting through a rebuilding process for a Super Bowl win. And I'm going to tell you right fucking now, it ain't going to happen with Jimmy G. I can tell you that right now. Because Davante Adams, 13 catches for 172 yards. You think that guy wants to spend his prime being the only man catching fucking footballs. That's absolutely fucking insane. You were wasting a true talent. To me, the best route runner in the entire NFL. But, but then you got Jacoby Myers, 7 for 85. Josh Jacobs, 3 for 18. Hunter Renfrow, 2 for 17. And last year, Hunter Renfrow was one of their go-to guys.
Yeah.
Once Darren Waller went down, Hunter Renfrow had a big play in the game.
Good point.
I think the entire organization of the Raiders is sad, and they are grasping at straws at this point. They are what the Colts wanted to be, trying to bring in OG veterans, and it really just it went down south for them. Not a fan. But give us just 1 second. We're going to take a quick break, and I promise you we're going to be right back. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Oh, I had to go to the little boy's room. So let's go ahead and jump into week 4, shall we?
I agree.
Much agreed. I think that we start with Thursday night football.
Yeah.
With that?
Why wouldn't we?
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Lions versus the Packers in Green Bay. Over under at 45.5. You'll never guess who the favorite is.
I do, because I kind of agree with it.
I agree with it too.
-1.5 to an extent, but go for it.
-1.5 on the Lions as the favored. So right now, whoever wins this game is the leader of the NFC North. I know it's a little bit early to call him the leader, but I get it. The Bears are not going to do good at all. They are hands down the worst team. The Bears they're in the NFC North.
Oh, gotcha. Go, keep going.
Yeah,
Sorry, my fault.
They are the worst team in the NFL. I think the Lions and Packers have the best odds to be the best two teams in the NFC North.
Yes, sir.
So let me go ahead and start off with that. I find Jordan Love to be very inconsistent. The problem is he does great for 2 quarters and does terrible the next 2 quarters. Granted, it could be the first and third, the second and fourth, the first and fourth, the second and third, the third and first. Like, there's so many different ways that it can go. But if Love plays like that,
there we go.
If Love plays the exact same way he's been playing,
that's what I was waiting for.
Give me the Lions, and it's not even close. I am willing to go the Lions by 3. The spread is 1. Give me the Lions by 3. They always seem to come down to, a bare knuckle brawl. And they always fight for their life, man. I just don't think the Packers got it in them. Got it in them.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree at all. See, I basically what you said, I'm pretty sure the Lions are gonna win, and if they do win, it'll be by 3, if not more. Now, and again, I didn't even see that game at all. I don't even know what really happened visually. I just saw the stat board. But if the way the Packers played in that fourth quarter, if they played the way they played in that fourth quarter, I can see them making it very close, and they could probably win that game by a landslide. Just barely, though. Barely. But if I had to choose, I'm going to go agree with my boy and give me Lions -2.5. And that's my pick if I had to choose.
I agree with that as well. Even though the spread sits at -1.5 for the Lions, I'd bump it up, take that plus money.
For sure.
I take that as a straight up bet. Also, don't forget, Jared Goff is 4-2 against the Packers in his entire career. 10 touchdowns.
That was with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, that was against,
that's a good comparison. Good.
That was against the A-Rod and company.
That's reasonable.
So for that, give me the Lions minus. If you want the cushion, I personally think the Lions win by more than 3, but take them at 2.5. That way you can just get them by the field goal.
Gotcha.
John, do you got another game you want to touch on?
Yes, sir. So I didn't even circle it on my cheat sheet until I just remembered. I'm like, wait a minute, why didn't I circle this? But it's in London.
Oh,
it's in London.
Shit.
Usually, I really like to hit the over regardless of what team it is in London. For some reason, regardless what teams play, they try to post up and they try to show off for the people who never really get to see it in person. And it's never really a blowout. There's just a lot of scoring, which is good, especially for the books. Side note, we got the Falcons and the Jags in London, and right now the Jags are sitting at -3 even. And the over and under is at 43.5. Personally, I like the over at 43.5. And I like the Jags at -3.
You goddamn right.
But just in case it ends at a -3 on the dot, give me a -2.5. And I'm straight with it. Trevor Lawrence will show up and win this game. I really genuinely do. That's my take, though.
I'll take it a woogity woo on that. Woogity woo. I think the Jaguars win by over 6. The Jaguars got fucking punked last week, dude, against the Texans. Yeah, they lost to the Texans. Now, don't get me wrong.
A lot of people lost to that, I'm pretty sure.
I made it clear last season. Divisional games are not the same as a regular season game. Anybody in your division, that team knows that specific team better than anyone else in the NFL besides the other 3 teams they're playing. They know them very well. That's why I'm very comfortable giving them that. I think they come out swinging. And then also, the Jaguars have some sort of deal that's why they're there in London almost every year.
Exactly.
Storm.
Yep.
But the Jaguars, yeah. God's speaking, Give me the Jaguars -6.5. 6.5. I think they win by a whole tutty. I think they win by a whole tutty because they're in London.
And just because you said, I just really wanted to, just so we can give you guys perspective. And it's right now, the book, if he really does take that at -6.5, that sits at +152.
And to me, I personally, I think that line will jump up. So lock that in right now. So if we're going to go around the league right now to things that I think that are locks, I want to go to the Commanders and Eagles, if that's okay with you.
Ooh, go for it. Yeah, let me hear you out.
Lock of the week, Eagles. Right now, the spread's at 7.5. Give them to me at -9.5. The Bills beat the brakes off of the Commanders. Like, absolutely obliterated them. They made them look silly the entire game. Granted, it's not hard to make the Commanders look absolutely ridiculous.
I kind of have to disagree. I think
you think the Commanders, who put up 3 points last week, 3 points, you're backing a team that put up 3 points last week against a Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah.
You're tripping, bro. In Philly?
See, every time, and listen here, folks. Every time me and my boy, we have a disagreement about something. I'm not gonna say I always win because I don't, but it's usually something close. I'm not saying that Washington will win against these fucking Eagles, but if you could give me an alternate line of the Washington Commanders, at +10.
Okay, so I called them at plus what or minus.
You said 6.5 or 7.5. What's the spread,
bro? I'll take them all the way up to 9.5. I'll take them all the way to 9.5.
Okay, fine.
They just lost by over 30 points last week.
I will. Does that mean that bad comparison? I was about to say, does that mean that the Bears will lose by another 50? The Bears can lose by another 50 for all I give a fuck. But I think that the Washington Commanders will somehow pull something out their ass that'll keep it within. If you're saying 9.5. I challenge that. Obviously, no money here.
Get your pen out,
but
John.
You're hearing this.
Get your pen out.
Washington Commanders cover 9.5.
You're absolutely out of your fucking mind. The Commanders' defense does not stand a chance in the backfield with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert. Like, it is not even going to be close. If you're feeling crazy, I would take the Eagles by 2 tutties.
Actually, it sits at 8.5 now.
So. 8.5? Yeah. Okay, still 9.5. 9.5. Lock lock that in now. Do it, because that is easy money to me. That is the lock of the week, and absolutely no fucking way the Commanders cover that. And Philly,
Oh, good point.
the most rambunctious fan base in all of the NFL.
All right.
All right, well, that's our disagreement of the week. Just so we're clear, week 1, he said the Baltimore Ravens were going to cover. He took the Texans to cover that, and I was right. So just so you guys know.
Hey, but wait. When we were out in the Keys, this boy said that the Chiefs were going to beat. Who was it?
After he went against him on the podcast. Don't even start it, bro.
I wouldn't disagree there. I did.
He did.
But when I was at Keys, I had a couple of drinks in me, and I'm like, you know what, dude? Something about the Chiefs today isn't right. It was the Lions. It was Lions, right?
I'm not sure who it was, but he fed y'all false information.
And I'm like, dude, let's make a personal bet. I'm pretty sure it was the Lions. Whoever beat the Chiefs on week 2.
It was the Lions.
Week one, sorry. It was the Lions. I was like, give me +4. And he's like, fine. And hey, lo and behold. Anyway, that's not the point here. Let's move on. This to me right here is about to be, let me give you a yuck real quick. A yuck, and I mean capital Y-U-C-K, nasty. I will not even watch this game. I won't even touch this game. Who the fuck is going to watch the Broncos versus the Bears? Who? Not me. Not me.
Nobody this week is like, you know what game we should watch? The Broncos against the Bears.
Yeah, no shot. Anyway, that was just my quick comment on that. But for me, the game of the week is
Can I guess?
Yeah. All right.
Miami against Buffalo?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Bro. Who is not going to watch that game? That is literally the first one. Well, not the first, but one of the first 1 p.m. games on Sunday Night Football. That is the absolute game I will watch for sure. The line sits at -2.5, favoring the Bills, and the over and under is sitting at 53.5. So I'm glad to know that we all believe that this is going to be a high-scoring game.
I just want to make it clear. I don't care if you're pregnant. I don't care if you need a root canal. They can wait 3 more hours for this fucking game, because it is going to be unbelievable. In my opinion, it is the game of the week, just like you said. So one thing we need to understand, the Dolphins dropped 70 on, again, the bum-ass Broncos, who I consider top 5 worst teams in the NFL.
There we go.
And we, just double backs all the way on why they ran the score up. They did Mike McDaniels dirty. They talked shit about Tua. Sean Payton did. And I will say this openly, fuck Sean Payton. You are an overrated coach. But the Bills defense has the second fewest points allowed this year so far. But here's the determining factor. The Dolphins are the highest scoring team in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
That's the only part that throws me off. But Josh Allen is the Dolphins' kryptonite.
Yep.
He has beat them 9. So in the last 10 games, he's beat them 9 times.
Yeah.
And the one time he lost, 2 points. 2 points. That's what he lost by.
Food for thought, hence why it probably sits at -2.5.
Correct, yes. Allen has at least 2 passing touchdowns in the 11 games that he's played against them, and that's an NFL record. Nobody else in the entire NFL has ever scored 2 continuous passing touchdowns against one team every time they played them. So Josh Allen holds that record. He is literally the Dolphins' kryptonite. Allen he's a monster. His rushing yards are 50 plus every time he plays them. I think if the Dolphins drop 50, if the Dolphins find some way to drop 50 against this electric Bills defense, Josh Allen will find a way to score 51. That's why I'm taking the Bills -2.5, and it's not even a question.
On my cheat sheet, I'm not going to lie, I put on here, I don't know. And he can confirm this. It's right here, IDK.
It does say IDK.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. But if you had to put a gun towards my little head, big ass hair, little head, I'm going to say
Big hair, little head.
give me the Bills money line. I just don't know. But if I had to choose, give me the Bills money line. It could really end in 1 or 2 or 3 points. It's not going to be double digit. I confirm that
Agreed.
much.
I agree
confirm
with you
that
on
much.
that.
I confirm that much. The over and unders, honestly, it's really high. It's really high. But I can see it getting that high too. But again, I don't even know if I'll bet it. I'll probably do some player props. But if I had to choose, give me the Bills money line. The other game I wanted to chat about, I only had one more truly. It was more of a quick comment than anything. It's my favorite team, the Patriots, as you guys know. We faced the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. And I don't even know what the spread is. But regardless of what it is,
Can't be that big.
it
Cannot be that big.
is. And I'll tell you right now. 3, 2, 1. It is.
It doesn't matter either way.
I can't find
again,
It's at 6.5.
So I shit on the Cowboys, but I don't think the Patriots
we have Bill
pull this
Belichick.
off.
We have Bill Belichick. But like, how many times do I have to say that to maybe to where the point where I believe it? Right now, it's not even about.
You're trying to convince yourself.
Yeah,
Chico.
see, because it's not even really we all know the potential that Bill Belichick has had. He showed it. Who I want to give the fucking boot. Get Mac Jones out of here, bro. I don't like him. I don't. I've said it since our last season of our podcast. Go and listen to it. I don't fuck with him. I don't. Give me Bailey Zappi. This dude has potential. And they brought him back for that reason. So why don't you throw his ass on the field? Because I know he will do better. I know it. Bill Belichick probably knows it too, but he just has so much hope in Mac Jones. But how much more hope does he have left before he fucking cuts the line and retires? Truly, my take, if I had to choose, I want to say Cowboys money line. I'm going to just be the little fanboy that I am. Give me the Patriots plus 7.5. And I'm not even banking for that to win. But that's just my take.
I'll tell you right now, he's wrong again. The Cowboys will cover that spread.
There you go.
I hate the Cowboys. I hate them. You know what I hate more? The fucking Patriots. Fuck Bill Belichick. Fuck Mac Jones. Mac Jones sat there and ball tapped Sauce Gardner right in the nuts last week.
He did?
Yeah. And he's under NFL investigation right now. He stood up. Mac Jones is notorious. Okay.
I didn't know that.
Look at me. Mac Jones is notorious for trying to hit guys in the nutsack when he is going down or if somebody's upset him. He has, I want to say it was 3 different videos of when he slides. Whenever a guy goes to jump over him, he sticks his foot up and tries to kick him right in the nuts. And there is clear video footage of him walking up.
There's not speculation?
And going, popping him right in the nutsack. I couldn't believe it either. I watched the video again today. I thought that was crazy.
Interesting.
But no, it bothers the fuck out of me because you just don't expect that from a Bama quarterback. You know, Nick Saban's a good coach. Like you think you would have had more discipline there because you got Jalen Hurts and Tua, and I think they look great. But I think Mac Jones, who was supposed to be the godsend of Alabama quarterbacks, ends up being the worst one in my opinion. What was that spread at? You said 7.5?
Yep, 6.5.
6.5? Yeah, give me the Cowboys to cover by a touchdown. That's insane to not take that, especially after getting their dick stomped in by the Cardinals. They
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hate the Patriots.
All right. Well, that for me that takes care of week 4. I don't know if you had any others you wanted to chat about.
Oh yeah, we got a couple we're going to talk about. Let's go ahead and start with the Colts versus the Rams. Now, good job. Minshew Mania is back in full effect.
Do we know if Anthony Richardson is going to come back on the field?
We do not know yet. Normally, concussion protocol is 2 weeks, which I think he passes. If you're not even a Colts fan, just realize this man was the first guy, not even on the starting lineup last week, okay?
Yep.
He was the first person out on the field and he was out there greeting soldiers, all the spectators. Not one other football player on the field. He's out there taking pictures, giving autographs to our troops, to anybody that was there early. He made sure they had a good time. If Anthony Richardson comes back, I really like them to beat the Rams. Colts, surprisingly, are at -2 as favorites at home.
I knew you were going to bring that up because when I was flipping through FanDuel, I was like, am I tripping? Or does it say the Colts are actually favored? And it's funny you bring that up too. So I only have a question for you before you take a little sipper.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you have more confidence in Anthony Richardson than, what's his name? Ginshu?
Gardner. Gardner.
That dude.
More
More than Richardson, the way he was actually able to pull it off, barely, but pull it off by beating the Ravens.
So, in my thought process, I Gardner Minshew is probably the greatest backup in the entire NFL right now.
Okay. What did I say about
Zeppy? Can you think of a better
give me
one?
Zeppy. Bailey Zeppy.
You're out of your mind.
If you give me Bailey
there's
Zeppy,
a reason he's on the bench, and
and so is it Minshew.
What do you mean? He just came out and beat a Super Bowl contending team.
Because Anthony Richardson got a concussion.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything.
They're both bench.
Gardner Minshew was he was a super high draft pick.
They're both bench bitches.
Bench bitches is what he just called Minshew.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane. Hey, Gardner, I love you. I think you're a great quarterback.
I'm not saying you're not. But
he just called you a bitch.
I'm saying, you're both bench bitches. I love Bailey Zappi. Get Mac Jones off of this starting lineup.
Minshew is light years ahead of Zappi, bro. That's not even close.
Bro,
you can't even compare the two.
Yes, I can.
But let me finish my little fucking rant before you sit here and knock on Minshew Mania. All right. Uncle Rico, he can throw that football over the mountains. You see him all the way over there? Me either. That's how far he can throw it.
All right. Go ahead.
The problem is the Rams defense. If Anthony Richardson plays, he is going to have a really tough time with Aaron Donald. He's going to be rolling out a lot.
I'll agree with that.
He's not going to be able to find his receivers, but I do think that Gardner Minshew would be able to deal with Aaron Donald better. Bailey Zappi was never anybody's die-hard number one quarterback.
I agree.
Gardner Minshew was. He was sought after. Every team wants him. The Jets already reached out to try to get him, and they were like, hell no. This is, hands down, the greatest backup in the NFL because he still has starting potential. Not Zappi. Tell me one team Zappi could go to and be a starting quarterback for.
The fucking Patriots.
You're tripping, bro. You're tripping.
I'm not. I know I'm not. I'll take that to the bank. There's no shot. Anyway, continue. This isn't about the Patriots. There's another flick. Keep going.
Here, just grab this real quick. That's your L, boy. Because I've got the Colts covering the spread -2 at home. Even give me Minshew or give me AR5. I still think they cover the spread at -2 at home. It's going to be very close. I don't think it's more than a field goal, but God, those -2 bets are.
I know.
They're
scary.
They're baity.
Yeah,
they are. They know what they're doing. Vegas knows what they're doing on this.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Well, we got that one covered. I want to go ahead and touch on the Ravens at Browns, which I think is going to be very interesting after last week for both teams. The Ravens have caught the injury bug, really bad. J.K. Dobbins, half their offensive line's down. Odell Beckham.
OBJ.
I'm very sad about that. But. Odell does not make the team. He does not.
I agree.
Zay Flowers, to me, is the greatest wide receiver to come out of the draft. Again, you got to give me a little lenience on the Colts and the Baltimore Ravens because those are my teams. But by golly, do I see the potential in them. The other issue is, talking about last week, the Colts had more of an aggressive defensive line, making Lamar Jackson really nervous in the pocket, it seemed like. But at the same time, like, we have Quiddy Pay, DeForest Buckner, EJ Speed, and all they have is Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
That's nothing more than
I
putting
agree with
pressure on
that.
what edge and Lamar rolling out. They're going to run a QB spy, just have one guy sitting there. But that always leaves one guy open in that situation. Watson didn't look bad last week at all. He doesn't look like a $200 billion quarterback. I
Right,
can tell you
right.
that.
Yeah.
Get rid of Amari Cooper, and he is not a 200 million. Even with Amari Cooper, he's not a $200 million quarterback. But
Agreed.
go Flock, go. Give me the Ravens to cover the spread at -3.
Agreed.
Or at +3.
I
At
agree.
+3. The Ravens are the underdogs. I think I had one more game I wanted to cover. I don't know if. Oh, good golly, there's really good games this week. The last one I'm going to touch.
Go for it. Go for it.
Bucks at the Saints. Saints are favored at -3.
I like it.
Over under a 41.5.
Not just in that.
I'm not touching it either, bro. So Jameis Winston, again, it's a revenge game for him. But the one thing that I like, there's two aspects about this game that I like the most. Alvin Kamara, he's off his suspension. He comes back this week. And to me, the greatest rivalry in the entire NFL right now is Mike Evans against Marshawn Lattimore. Do yourself a favor and pause this video and go look up their fights. Mike Evans has leveled him so many times.
And I forgot that was the team. Yeah.
Hate each other. They
forgot
hate
that was
each
the
other. I think it's going to be very interesting. But with Jameis Winston, coming off of the Buccaneers, he's had a couple of revenge games on him, but he's not that guy. He's not that guy. They're going to be depending a lot on Taysom Hill, who I think will play a lot of Wildcat offense. And that's what's going to make me take the Bucks +3.5.
Oh, you were actually taking an
+3.5. So the spread is the Saints favored by -3. So I'm taking the Bucks at +3.5, just for that little bit of cushion. Nikki G loves some cushion. But other than that, man, I'm sitting here scrolling through everything I got, and I think I'm good to go, bro.
All right. Well, that only leaves one final part of the session. That leaves our best bets of the week. So my very first best bet of the week. This dude has been a killer lately as far as anytime touchdowns, and you could probably guess what wide receiver that might be. I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill anytime touchdown. And I can almost guess that he's not going to be plus money. But if you just throw a couple yards in there, I don't even care if it's 25, you're going to almost get paid probably 1-to-1. And you can guarantee that I'm going to do that. The second one is the bull take that I was going to wait for this episode to tell my boy here.
Oh, boy.
I am going to take a very bold take. And I want to take a 4-way winning margin of between 1 to 13 points and give me the Colts against the Rams. I think the Colts will actually win this game, and it's going to be between 1 and 13 points. And I think the reason that I fell for it a little bit
might
was
be
just
the best bet.
because the fact that they were actually favored. And again, even right now, I still don't even after his whole hype talk about him, I don't know what it is either, but maybe it's my little Hoosier thought process here.
A little bit of blue flowing through them blood.
But
man.
I'm pretty sure that the Colts are actually going to win this fucking game. The Rams really struggled against the Bengals. Granted, they're both Super Bowl teams. Yesterday's game, I didn't feel like I was even watching two Super Bowl teams at all. Frankly, there was just some pretty good defense or it was some pretty shitty offense, one or the other. But I really, really, really like it. And if you take that, it gives you exactly at plus 160. So I really like it. And I'm about to give you my last final pick. It's not saying the best pick of the week.
I don't even want to see
but I'm going to give you my usual weekly 3-teamer steamer. I'm going to give you. Give me the Jags money line in London against the Falcons.
Agreed.
Give me the Vikings. Money line. These guys need to win a game. They have not won in a minute. They haven't. They need to win. They need to win. I really believe that they're going to win this time. They're going against the Panthers. Come on. If they don't win this, I honestly will start losing hope in them, truly. So
No, go ahead.
So right now I'm sitting with the Jags, the Vikings, and the last one. We just saw them win yesterday against the Rams. Give me the Bengals money line, and that puts you at exactly plus 359.
Holy cow.
3-1. I love it. I really do. That's what I'm rolling with. If you wanted to go some little bit of balls with that, add the extra leg of the Colts, 4-way winning margin between 1 and 3, 13 points. I don't know what that'll give you, but that's my little 3-teamer steamer. What about you, my friend?
I guess it depends on how big your nutsack is, because, golly, I think Adam Thielen, got
Yep.
cut
Now on the
last
Panthers.
year.
Yep.
Now he's on the Panthers. I think he's going for a revenge game, and he had a great week last week. If you can get him on the waiver wire and you need him in a flex, I would definitely go with it. But we have completely different bets here. So I'm going to give you a plus 2,375 bet, and I'm putting a whole unit on it. I'm putting a whole unit on it. It's exactly what we just talked about, exactly what I just talked about. Go ahead. Give me Detroit Lions minus 1.5. Lock.
All right.
Jacksonville minus, I got them at 3 here. If you're nervous, go ahead and take them at 2.5. It might be a field goal game, but
Probably might do that if I had
Jacksonville wins that game.
Like
100%. Also, give me the Colts over the Rams minus 1.5. I think that will be another field goal game, and they're in Indy, man. It's electrifying.
I know.
We've both been there. It is a different kind of atmosphere.
We might go.
there.
We might go. No holding breath, but we might go. We might go.
Don't get me going, John. Also, then we go ahead and take the Eagles at minus 8.5. Again, I still think they win.
Holy
by
shit, how many
10.
legs is this?
Oh, we're not done. Eagles minus 8.5. If you're scared, go ahead, put your money somewhere else, boy. And then to top it off, after the Chiefs obliterated them last week, then we'll take the Jets. Or the Chiefs against the Jets. Give me the Chiefs minus 9.5.
Ooh.
What?
Actually, no. I take it back. I take that comment back. You're right. No, I actually like that one. Usually, I don't like double-digit spreads. That I consider that a double-digit.
So
spread.
I mean, if you're a $10 bet man, that pays $237. If you want to, I guarantee every single one of those teams win. But what I would do is, if you're a little nervous about that, just take each team and put them back down to 1-score games. I think that'd be your best bet if you're a little nervous. But make both of those bets. Make the one I just gave you. And also make, the exact same bet, but just take them by 1 score. So,
yeah, I agree with that. I will say, I'll give you this. I am very, very proud of you, and I mean that. This boy never likes taking spreads, never,
ever. And I'm giving you a full spread bet here.
But he's doing it. Proud of you.
Good golly.
See, he's flinching, just looking. At it. But I'm proud of you.
It.
I am super proud of you.
I'm sticking with the Lions. I'm sticking with the Jaguars. If you're scared, take them at the money line. If you're worried about the Colts, take them on the money line. If you're worried about the Eagles, take them at 6.5 instead of 8.5. If you're worried about the Chiefs at 9.5, take them at 6.5 as well. That's still a fat fucking payday.
Oh,
go ahead and throw 2 units on that. Show me one loser on that bet. The only thing that makes me nervous is going to be the Colts. And if you don't like that, just fade it.
I agree.
Just fade it.
I agree.
And you're still going to get a fat payday.
But
So take all that, run with it, do what you do with this information. All we can do is try our fucking best, y'all.
yes, sir. Well, that just wraps it up for my end. About you?
I think I'm all done, Bubba.
All right. Well, this was a very long one for you guys. We had a lot to talk about football. Last week was fucking awesome. Hopefully we have something like this next week with crazy results. We'll see. That's probably where most of our majority of talking points come from. But nonetheless, we enjoy doing this every fucking week.
Every week,
We're going to do this every week as much as we can. Again, if we can't do it, it's because we're out of town, whatever the fuck's going on. But no matter what, if you guys like this content, please be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, drop a like. Helps out the algorithm. We will catch you guys in the next one, but you are here with me Jonny Gamble, Johnny G, and my co-host, my brother.
Oh, Nicky G, boy.
All right, we will catch you guys.
Hey, give me a cheers on the sign off, Bubba. Give me a
sir.
cheers. Love you guys.
Peace.